Welcome to Get Wed,
a podcast to plan your wedding by.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Kerrie.
And we're both here as professional photographers
and brides-to-be to help you plan your big day.
Each week we'll discuss a topic that you'll encounter along your wedding planning journey.
And with the help of fellow industry experts, we'll navigate this crazy wedding world
together.
Hello everybody and welcome to season 5 of Get Wed.
That's an unusual voice you've just heard there. If you aren't aware, that is Katie. She has come back for season 5.
I'm back, everybody. Hello.
So that's Katie and I'm Kerrie, and we are back with Get Wed. If you haven't been listening along, Katie was with us from season 1 to season 3, but then she went away and made a human, who you can see now, sat on her lap.
Yeah.
And she's had a little baby and had some maternity leave. So welcome back, Katie.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you ever so much, everybody. So I've had my little boy George, and he's sitting on my lap. If you hear him making noises,
like that,
try and make cute noises, not grunting. So that's what's going on. I'm on maternity leave still at the moment, but I thought I'd just pop back and talk to Kerrie because I thought she seemed a bit lonely, so I thought I'd come and keep her company.
Yeah, podcasting's not the same without you.
Oh. So plus it's a bit mundane being a mum, so it's quite good fun having a chat as well.
Getting back to a daily life.
Yeah. Yes. So that's what I've been busy doing.
How have you finding it? Are you having fun?
Yeah, no, it's really good. It's definitely getting easier as he gets a bit bigger and I get my head around it all.
Yeah.
So he was born in December, so he's a few months old now. So we're doing all right, aren't we, George? She's probably going to cry now, but I'm going to try my best to
I hate talking
around.
about weddings, Mum. Oh.
Literally is.
He's just started to cry.
Oh dear. Okay. So yes. So what are we going to talk about this episode then, Kerrie?
So we thought that this episode we were going to start to talk about how you can get organised with your wedding plans. So if our last episode of season 4, I got really confused about our seasons then, we ended it on just engaged. What on earth do you do? 'Cause it's quite an overwhelming point when you get engaged. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to plan a wedding, and then suddenly it's like, oh no, I'm going to plan a wedding.
What do I do?
Yeah. So we thought this episode we're going to talk about how to get yourself organised with getting started on actually planning your big day. George is very excited. He's doing a massive yawn.
Riveting stuff, George. Try and keep with us.
We're going to just go through a few points that we think will be really handy in getting yourself organised before you kind of make any big plans on the big day. So,
cool. So the first thing we sort of thought might be quite handy is to have a joint email. So to have a certain email together that you're both linked to have all your wedding stuff dedicated to go in there.
It just puts everything into one place, doesn't it? So if you're contacting lots of suppliers or making lots of inquiries, rather than you both kind of overlapping and contacting the same people without realising, it's all going to one inbox, so you can kind of keep track of all your suppliers and all the stuff.
Yeah, and we also thought, I'm not clever enough to do this, but if you set up a calendar together as well, so like a shared synced calendar, then when you're arranging all these meetings and get-togethers and stuff, then you don't have to keep nagging the other person if they're free, and you can just do that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a really great idea. And also another good thing about having a joint email address is if you're going around wedding fairs, you can just keep putting that email down and all the stuff they ask you to enter, like competitions and things. Because the thing is, you're going to get a lot of I don't want to call it spam email, because it's not spam, it's useful information.
Yeah.
From a wedding point of view, like wedding supplier point of view. But you'll get contacted by lots of companies the more you give that address out to the people you've asked to contact you. So it's a good way to kind of deal with all your wedding admin in one place. But from a supplier's point of view, I find it quite annoying having a joint email address, because it means that after the wedding, people stop checking that email address.
Oh, that's true. So that's a bit of a kind of
catch
negative.
Yeah. But I guess, because I like to contact people after the wedding to remind them that they can come back for a wedding album, or if I'm having like a promotion on photos like prints or something, or I'm doing like family portraits or something like that, and I know lots of my couples have gone on to have children, it's a nice way for me to get in contact with them is obviously by emailing them. But if they don't check that email account anymore, it's kind of a bit defunct. So if you've got on quite well with some of your suppliers, I think it's maybe let them know if you've changed your email address and you still want to hear from them after the wedding, because you could miss out on lots of stuff.
yeah, so maybe resubscribe or drop them an email or something, or just keep an eye on their Facebook and make sure you keep in contact with the people who might be relevant later on down the line.
Exactly. So it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. But it's also a good thing. But it's also a bad thing.
So we hope that's helped.
See you next week. That's the end. Not really. So number 2 we thought was find a space in your house that you can dedicate to wedding planning, which sounds a bit over the top, but just hear us out. So, oh, sorry. So what I thought was it's really handy to have a drawer in your house that you can just chuck all your wedding paperwork in. So things like contracts, price lists, leaflets that you pick up at wedding fairs, etc. If you've got that all in one spot, and then suddenly you think, oh, what was that person we saw? And you can suddenly go rifling through all your stuff, and hopefully you should find anything that you need. But also having that dedicated space, like Katie had, which was her office, is where you can just store all the wedding stuff. So, I mean, what did you have in your room?
Quite nice as well, just to kind of shove it all in there and then hide it away a little bit as well. Because
there's so much stuff that you have to buy. So what you had, like crates of wine.
Yeah, I had all sorts. We had because I got it on the Black Friday sale. We had a lot of wine, and then decorations and dresses, shoes, everything. So if you have got a spare room, it's quite handy to stick it all in there
and just close the door and walk away.
Yeah, or if you've got really nice parents with maybe a bigger house or something, or even friends, maybe stick it in there. Or
it's a good idea. Just keeping it all in one spot so you know where it is again.
Didn't you lose your dining room when you were wedding?
Yeah, so we couldn't use our dining room, but to be honest, we don't use it that very often anyway. But you just kind of put it in there and close the door and hope no one ever wanted to look inside. So, so yeah, that's what we end up doing there. But it's just handy to have everything in one spot, especially if you're making lots of stuff. You can kind of leave it kind of in progress, can't you? And then come back to it as and when you've got time. So have a dedicated spot, I think, is a really good idea, even if it's just a drawer. Yeah.
We also thought maybe use apps as well to help yourself get more organised. So did you use any apps at all when you were getting married?
I found it difficult because and this came up loads when I was planning my wedding, so everything was very Americanised that I come across. I found a really good app, which I think off the top of my head was called Wedding Appy. Good pun. Or it might have just been Wedding Happy, I don't know. Perhaps I turned it into Appy in my head.
Wedding Appy is a good name.
But it's something along those lines, and basically I just used it to put all our, like, the supplier's name in and how much they cost, so I could keep a running track of what the budget was. But because of it was quite Americanised, there's loads of stuff on there that wasn't really very relevant to our wedding, like bridal showers and rehearsal dinners and all that sort of stuff. So I tried to use it as much as I could, but the American interface started to annoy me.
Yeah, so maybe pick and choose a few little things like that.
I just realised we do have quite a lot of American listeners, so I'm not saying it to offend you, but I mean, for the UK market, it doesn't seem to be quite as much about. Which is why me and you should develop an app.
Definitely. So if there's any app developers out there who want to help us,
we want to make a Get Wed app. So
definitely like to do that.
Could you come and let us know how to do that, please?
Yeah.
But having an app where you could kind of like track all your suppliers and your budget and useful podcast episodes. Wouldn't that be brilliant?
That's so good, yes.
So one day, perhaps there'll be a Get Wed app. But there's loads on the App Store on your phone. So maybe just pick and choose and see what you can use that's going to help you out.
Yeah, I know I had a countdown and that was quite cute, but probably going to do nothing but stress you out and, even make you excited or stressed. But I liked having it some days.
So could you customise that with like a picture of you or something?
Yeah. And then you could, I think it might have been to the honeymoon actually, because I think I was more looking forward to like having the time off. So so you can get a little countdown or something as well, maybe.
Yeah, that's quite sweet.
So we also thought that getting help from other people as well is a really good idea. It's something I was pretty bad at, to be honest, because I'm a complete control freak. But people are there to help you, and normally people do want to help you with wedding stuff as well.
Yeah. I also was terrible at getting help from other people.
But you were not better than me, because you still had people help you craft. You had like a craft day, didn't you? Which was a good idea.
So I had my bridesmaids help me do my backdrop for our ceremony, and Russell's brother actually did our wedding invitations.
Oh, that's really good.
That was really helpful, because you did that yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I tried. I didn't do as your invites were like beautiful, but yeah, like getting somebody who's an expert is a really, really nice idea, especially if they can help you out budget wise and do it at price.
I mean, I think where I've seen a lot of delegation from brides whose weddings are photographed is with the wedding bake-off, which seems to be huge now. So where you ask your guests to bake a cake rather than buying a wedding cake.
Oh, that's such a nice idea. I really like that.
Yeah, so we had those people do that at our wedding day, but I've actually seen loads of my brides do it since. I don't know if it's because they saw me do it and just thought it was a brilliant idea.
God, they're just copying you.
But I copied it from someone else, so it's absolutely fine. But yeah, that's a really good way to kind of get delegation and help there. If you know people who are good at baking and you don't want to spend too much on a wedding cake. We probably shouldn't be saying this because we're talking wedding bakers out of a job. But I
know that is bad. It's like when people go, "Oh, just use disposable cameras on the table and don't get them to talk about." Like, it's just.
But, you know, there's delegation in all sorts of areas. It just depends what you class as being important, I guess, on your wedding day. So
yeah, definitely, everyone's different, aren't they? So
you know, even like on the day of setting up the wedding, I had people arranging flowers because I bought loads of flowers from the wholesalers, but I had a florist do my bouquets. But like table flowers and stuff, I was like, I don't want to spend much money on, so I just bought a load from the wholesalers. And then my mum, my now mother-in-law, sister-in-law, Caroline, who was our wedding planner, they were just all like arranging flowers for me all afternoon.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, especially the day before. If you can get help the day before, actually, we did get a lot of people the day before come and help. Yeah, then that's great. Like you really do need it. I think if you've got time to set up, then. Yeah,
and you kind of need a plan as well when you're delegating on the day before, so people have got certain jobs, because otherwise they just keep coming up to you going, what can I do?
That's very true. That's a really good tip, actually, because that will just stress you out, because it stressed me out. So have in your mind the different jobs, like you're going to do the bunting, you're going to blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's a good tip, Kerrie.
Yeah, and actually that's something, another delegation I did is my mum and my sister-in-law made me all the bunting because I can't use a sewing machine.
Yeah,
even though I try, but they spent hours cutting out triangles and sewing them together. So
that's so nice. Yeah, so do use the things that people are good at as well. Try and harness onto those sort of things.
Hopefully, it should take the pressure off of you and just make it a bit more relaxed in the actual planning time.
Yeah.
We also thought you could use a planner or spreadsheets. So you can probably see these in shops like Paper Chase. I'm trying to think of other ones. TK Maxx does amazing stationery.
You love TK Maxx.
TK Maxx is incredible stationery. You should really go and have a look if you're like a bit of a stationery lover, because like notebooks and pens, oh my god, I could spend hours in there. It's amazing. Like,
I didn't know it was really good in there, so I'm definitely going to have a look now after you said.
I don't even look in TK Maxx for clothes at all. I just look in there for the home stuff. So have you ever been to a Home Sense?
No, I bought something online from there, but I've not been to the actual.
Because Home Sense is like the home section of TK Maxx, but in one shop, and it's amazing.
I love home stuff, so you're gonna make me want to go shopping now.
Yeah, but you might be able to find some nice wedding planners there, like the books that can help you organise and get planned. But I found that again they were really Americanized. Did you use anything like that?
I'm not organised enough. I literally got a pretty notebook, and wrote everything in there and just did it all in there. But I know, didn't your Russell? He was like super good with his spreadsheets.
Yeah,
and stuff.
So like that's where me and Russell differ. Is that I'm more of like a pen and paper person, and he's like numbers, and he like is very good at spreadsheets, and he deals with them with lots of work. So he's always everything we've ever got a plan is planned in the spreadsheet, But he's very good at making them. Quite intuitive, so he put one together for our budget and for our guest list, so that we could track who was eating what on the wedding day, so their meal choices, whether they had any dietary requirements. He also tracked when we sent out the save the dates, and when we'd sent out the invitations, and then when we'd heard back, so we could quickly toggle between. Yeah, so we could be like, well, who are we waiting for an RSVP on? And he'd press his little button, and it would be like, these people haven't RSVP'd, and I was like, this is amazing.
Wow.
And then he did one as well for the budget. Impressive. So all the suppliers, he put all our suppliers down, and then he had a section for when the how much the deposit was, when the deposit was due, when the final payment was due, how much the final payment was. And then the spreadsheet could also it would tell you when stuff was due. So like if it was due within 14 days, it was a certain colour saying due within 14 days, due within 30 days. So and then because of all this, I've made him make them into a downloadable file that you can now purchase from my website. So if you're a spreadsheet person, go and have a look on my website, and I'll put the link in the show notes. But you can download them, and I made him make it a bit more attractive. So because I'm the kind of person who looks at a spreadsheet and goes, oh, I don't know how to use that.
Yeah, and they look hideous. So
yeah, and Excel, I find Excel one is one of those things that I'm just like,
horrid. Oh. Yeah, scary, isn't it?
So he's made it look really friendly, and I've made him put some pretty graphs in.
Oh, that's nice.
So you kind of gives you a pie chart, so you can see how much you're spending where. So yeah, go and have a look at that, and you can download those. And then alongside that, for the pen and paper people, I put together a wedding planning guide, which I've got here.
Oh, what's that? Oh, it's a good reason to go on YouTube, everybody.
Yeah,
have a good look at that.
So this is like a planning guide, which is like 140 pages. So everything that I was kind of learning, I guess, through wedding planning, I put into this book, into like an 18-month checklist, so you can plan your wedding as you go.
That is beautiful.
It
looks so nice.
Space to track your guests, your budget, your suppliers, and basically everything. And you can download that and print it at home and use it as and when you want. So go to my website. I feel like I'm doing an advert. So if you just go to my website, which is kerriemitchell.co.uk, and then click on wedding resources, it's under there, so you can go and take a look. But I hope that's helpful, because I found those planners really unhelpful in the shops, although they look really pretty, and I wanted to use them, but I was like, it's just a waste of money.
Well, some of them look really ugly, to be honest. I think your one looks really, really lovely. Like, some of them were so kind of tacky and a bit when I was trying to find one. So
some of them just had nice covers and nothing inside, just like with plain notebooks as well, so they weren't really helpful. So hopefully that's helpful. So yes, you can either plan it on your own, or you can use my planner. This is the perfectly planned wedding guide. I'm going to start advertising now. And then we also thought you could also ask advice from married couples. So if you know people around you who've got married before, have a conversation with them and ask them questions, because everyone's going to have a point where they're like, oh, if I could go back, I would do this.
Yeah. Or my biggest regret is not doing blah, blah, blah. So yeah, definitely get people's advice. And you can also get really good suppliers off people. So they said, oh, this supplier was brilliant, or even this one wasn't as brilliant. Then, get their knowledge and somebody who's been through it before. Yeah,
it saves you so much hassle, because then you can just contact the people that were doing that wedding, and hopefully they'll be free on your date, and you can be like, right, phew, I liked what they did.
Yeah,
let's book it.
Let's go for it.
They're actually some of my favourite weddings to shoot, are the ones that have been referred from past couples. So I do lots of sisters or brothers, or
and that's so much more personal and nice, isn't it, when you get a nice recommendation. So
yeah, I think that's a good way to go. I was going to say, because you said something about having regrets. Is there anything you regret from your wedding?
I think videography, like not recording more, not capturing more, would have been my thing. So yeah, I think looking back, the more you can get like that, you won't look back and regret, really. As much as people are like, oh, videographer, nah, I wish we had now. So yeah. What about you?
Kind of similar, but not. Like, I don't regret that we didn't have a videographer, but I regret not recording our speeches.
Yeah,
that's like my biggest regret. I think that's the only thing that I think. Yeah, everything else I was quite happy with. But yeah, just having, even if somebody just recorded them on their phone, I would have been happy. So yeah, that's all I missed out on. But that's,
again,
it's funny,
another delegation job.
Yeah, exactly. Get someone to record everything.
As long as they're not in the way of the photographer or videographer or recording, because that is quite annoying when someone's got a phone right up in your camera. Yeah.
It's funny, the things that you like on the lead up. I think with photography and videography, it's quite easy to think, oh, we shouldn't spend much money on that. But because it's one of those things you don't see before the wedding. Everything else you're kind of receiving before the big day. Like your flowers turn up, your dress turns up, you eat the food on the day. But like photography, you don't see for like 3-4 weeks afterwards, and videography you don't see till after the wedding either. And it's not till then that you realise how important it was. Or
and that I don't think you do. I sort of thought it might be intrusive, or I might like see it too much, but you'll be so busy on the day, actually you don't notice those things in hindsight. So yeah, I would say invest in the things that are gonna last as well. I'm glad I got like nice rings and stuff, to be honest, like my wedding rings. So for me,
our rings was like a massive afterthought.
Oh, because you
left him really last minute. We're like, we just need a ring.
Do you regret that though, or not? Or are you happy?
I don't. I'm happy with my engagement ring, so it's just another ring, I guess. Don't really think about it, but it's got the emotional attachment of it being the one that you use in the ceremony, I guess.
Yeah,
but it's nothing special.
And yeah, and obviously if you need any advice from us as well, we've got our Facebook group, so feel free to request to join that and we will add you. And yeah, fire away if you've got any questions.
Yep, you can find that by going to our website, which is getwedpodcast.co.uk. And then George has just been sick on YouTube if you're watching, so that was hilarious.
George just completely filled his nappy, so
was it the other end? I thought it was the top
end.
end.
It was the other end. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Oh dear.
I might have to. Yeah. So we were gonna finish the episode there anyway.
So yeah, you can find that on getwedpodcast.co.uk. Find the link to our Facebook group in the navigation and come along and join. And Katie will add you into the group. And don't forget to sign up for our email list as well. This is brilliant. I really hope that we get to show George this video one day when he's 18.
Oh my god, it's so bad. Ooh, I'm just so sorry for the sound there, everybody.
This is the way Get Wed's going in season 5, guys.
This is the liveness of what we're doing. It's real.
But yeah, we'll join us next week for another episode, and we'll see you then.
Yeah, thanks guys. See you soon. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening. We really hope that you've enjoyed this episode of Get Wed. Don't forget you can always subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, and while you're there you may as well leave us a review. You can join us for more wedding chat in our Facebook group if you just can't wait until next week. You'll find all the links that you need via our website, including show notes for this episode, over at getwedpodcast.co.uk. We'll see you next time. Happy planning!